I still remember the first time I met this gentleman. Pressure situation थी, important deal थी, लेकिन completely calm. People always tend to show their true selves under pressure. और इनको इतना calm और इतना composed देख के मैं समझ गया था कि he is going to be our next guest. There is a reason why he is the president of a Realtors Association of South Mumbai. But मुझे ये तब पता चला when I held his business card in my hands for the first time. Never met a person so humble. और इनसे बात करते समय बिल्कुल भी पता नहीं चला. Being in the industry for the past many decades, he has a lot of wisdom and a lot to inspire. This will be a killer episode for sure. Let's go.
Anything extra you say, and if it is recorded, and tomorrow if it doesn't happen,
Right.
client can sue you.
Fair.
Assuming you say it's full sea view there from your flat at this floor, if you book it,
Right.
and you send a mail, you send a WhatsApp, and if tomorrow if it's not there after the building is completed, it's something else,
Right.
and then you're misrepresented because of which he's
Correct.
put his hard-earned money there.
Correct.
As an agent, he should be responsible. He shouldn't talk anything extra.
Right. Definitely.
Anything extra meaning
Overcome
put
it
extra
maybe.
cheese or butter on your thing and
Correct.
sell your product.
Right. With experience comes a certain wisdom. And with that wisdom comes a certain freedom. Freedom of speech, thought, and to experiment and then to take an action. ये जो भी मैंने बोला, that उसका जो sum total है, he is our guest today. जब हम बात करेंगे, you will realize what I'm exactly talking about. Please help me welcome our guest today, the very esteemed Mr. Rajiv Jain, who is the founder for Ruchika Shelters and the president of MERA, which is Metropolis Estate Realtors Association and the governing body member of NAR India. Rajiv ji, welcome to our one of a kind non-talk show where there are no rules. We are just having a conversation heart to heart. हम सिर्फ यहाँ पे बातें करते हैं, and by that means we get to know each other and we learn a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for taking the time out here. Rajiv ji, मेरा एक question है जो शायद बाकी लोग के लिए भी हो सकता है. Now there are so many associations when it comes to real estate brokers and channel partners, right? Abhi last to last episode mein we had Pramod Jain ji, who is the president of Smart. Now we have another president who is the president from MERA. So how are these associations different from one another? Is it just location based, yeah? Are there some other categories, yeah, kuch?
So this association was founded in 2015 in December.
Okay.
And we have close to around 100 members.
Okay.
And most of them are based in South Mumbai.
Okay.
And we have a lot of educational events. We have a lot of events with the builders. And we have a lot of activities like cricket matches, sports activities, annually. And we have many such programs which will enhance the skills of our members. And we always have some or the other activity which will give them a full background of what's happening in the market in terms of the rules, regulations with respect to the real estate industry and especially to the real estate broking community.
Understood.
Like recently, there was this, starting from the time when RERA Act was enforced and MAHA-RERA came into force in Maharashtra.
Right.
We took initiative to, get all members to, encourage them to get themselves registered with MAHA-RERA.
Right.
And starting from that till now, where MAHA-RERA has made all the registered agents,
Right.
to make them undergo competency training and appear for the exams.
Understood.
And that's it. We have been trying to encourage people, all our members, to be, have full statutory compliance and be a legally compliant real estate broker in the market, and which will enhance their credibility and, create more faith in front of their clients, to offer their services and all that.
So, Rajiv ji, how important is it if we talk about the real estate channel partners and brokers? उनके लिए कितना जरूरी है to take the certification or to get registered, or is it even necessary?
No, it is necessary. You take the case of when RERA was enforced.
Right.
The RERA Act states very clearly that every real estate agent who is practicing in the market, he is supposed to get himself compulsorily registered with the
Right.
state.
Right.
It is very important. You have to be legally compliant.
Right.
It's in his own interest that he should get registered. If he doesn't get registered, then what?
Right.
Assuming you feel that you can't be above the law,
Right.
you have to be legally compliant.
Right.
You have to get yourself registered. If you don't get yourself registered, then what? Assuming you have to fight your case against a builder,
Right.
then what? You have to go to, you need to be legally compliant. You have to get
Understood.
yourself registered with the state, which is important.
Makes
It's,
sense.
otherwise, they will not recognize you.
Right.
They will not take up your case.
Right.
Your case will not get registered. It's very important.
Understood.
People should realize that the entire real estate broking community should realize that the RERA is not for primary market. It
Okay.
covers everything. Secondary
Interesting.
market or whatever they look at, it's a general impression with the real estate broking community has that RERA is only for primary market, but
Right.
no, it's not the case. You
Understood.
have to get yourself registered. Tomorrow, any good company, a multinational, if he wants to deal with a realtor, he'll ask whether you are registered with the state. Are you registered with MAHARERA?
Right.
He'll always ask,
Correct.
and he'll feel safe and secured to deal with you.
Understood.
It is very important for a real estate broker to get himself registered. If he's not registered and he does some rental transactions
Right.
and anything goes wrong, you don't know.
Right.
You have
Right.
something which will help you. Okay, you are registered with the state.
Right.
That is something which will help you.
Understood. Understood.
Tomorrow, to claim your rights
Right.
legally, you need to get yourself registered.
Makes sense. So Rajiv ji, अभी ये जितने भी जैसे RERA has also come up with a course, right?
Yeah.
Mandatory course that
Yeah, yeah.
all the realtors have to take, at least starting Mumbai and then
Yes,
Maharashtra.
yes, yes.
अभी इसका validity, in the sense when I say validity, sanctity क्या है इसका? जो ये लोग बता रहे हैं, is it really that valid? मतलब जो ये पढ़ा रहे हैं, जो बता रहे हैं, is it something that the realtors or the real estate channel partners and brokers already knew beforehand? Is it something new that they are being taught, or is it the same old thing only packaged differently? How would you read that?
I would put it this way: the MAHARERA Act, which has been crafted, is very well crafted.
Okay.
Except it lacks, with respect to rights of the real estate brokers.
Got it.
In the sense, as people are bringing to their notices, they are trying to incorporate and try to, make it more agent friendly. That way.
Right. Right.
MAHARERA is very important for everyone, for the real estate broking community, because the customer meets the broker first
Fair.
to see a project.
Correct.
At that point of time, he should be aware of the MAHARERA provisions, everything, and he should know his limits,
Right.
that he shouldn't talk anything extra.
Correct.
If he's showing an X project, he should be aware that there is a registration number, and recently they have come up with a QR scan code.
Right.
And if he has to share any information, he has to share through the QR scan code to
Correct.
the client,
Correct.
which is important,
Right.
because anything extra you say, and if it is recorded, and tomorrow if it doesn't happen,
Right.
the client can sue you.
Fair. Fair.
Assuming you say it's full sea view there
Right.
from your flat at this floor, if you book it,
Right.
and you send a mail, you send a WhatsApp,
Mm-hmm.
and if tomorrow if it's not there after the building is completed and
Right.
it's something else,
Right. Right.
and then you're misrepresented, because of which he's
Correct.
put his hard-earned money there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
something which as an agent, he should be responsible.
Fair. Fair.
He should understand the product, what he is marketing. He should speak within the limits.
Understood.
He shouldn't talk anything extra.
Right. Definitely.
Anything extra meaning you cannot
Overcome
put
it
extra
maybe.
cheese or butter on your thing and
Correct. Correct.
sell your product.
Right.
In another way, it's better that he, whatever's mentioned in MAHARERA in terms of the size of the flat, in terms of size of the thing, if he has to give a actual presentation.
Right.
More than the e-brochure of a builder, he should look at the MERA website and share with the client.
Fair.
And the client will really appreciate that.
Understood.
That more than the e-brochure, the broker has done his homework,
Right.
removed information from the MERA website and shared with me. That's
Perfect.
something he'll really appreciate.
Understood. Understood. Rajji, I have this question just came to my head. Like you were saying, ki there could be a case जहाँ पे कि overcommitment to a consumer or home buyer, and eventually, like say, they said ki 11th floor se or 15th floor se you get a CV and it's not there. Eventually, they can sue.
I mean, it's his discretion. I mean,
Right.
he may just look at. He said, "Where's this? Where's that?
Right.
You promised all this,
Right. Right.
and well, it's not there.
Right.
And because of you, you have,
Correct.
So that's why the real estate broker who's registered with MERA, he should understand his responsibility. He should not misrepresent.
Understood.
Very important.
Understood. Is it actually happening? How often does it happen that a home buyer comes and actually takes any kind of legal action on the broker? How often does it happen?
Well, it is done through MERA.
Okay.
Whenever there are times when people have not got possession.
Right.
There are times when they start blaming the brokers. Oh, he said it will be ready by this time,
Right.
and all that. And,
Right. Right.
But then certain things are beyond the
Broker's
control.
Correct.
It's not that he should be blamed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the speed of construction which has got affected due to any legal issues or compliances.
Understood.
So at that point of time, I mean, it will be wrong on the part of a buyer to sue a broker for that.
True.
So,
True.
But then these things are happening. I mean,
Okay.
It's unfortunately it's happening.
Considering our legal system, how effective is it? If actually, what I want to understand is कि ऐसा आपके in your lifetime or in your recent past, have you come across any such case, let's say, wherein a home buyer has tried to sue the broker? Does the legal system, how supportive is the legal system of the home buyers or the brokers? कुछ उसका result ऐसा आया in मतलब for या against में? At least some, क्योंकि when we keep looking at the news now and then, we see that legal cases getting dragged over and over, like for a long period of time. How efficient is the law here?
So here, I think there's something called a reconciliation forum where after complainant he registers his case with MERA, he's given a choice that would like to go through the reconciliatory forum. There are a lot of SROs represented by the builders and other community. They sit together and they solve the issue. It's through the reconciliatory forum. And the result has been very good and encouraging, because of which a lot of other states also have adopted this model to set up reconciliatory forums in their respective RERA machinery.
Right. So then what you're actually saying makes a lot more sense. It has a lot of more weightage for all the real estate brokers to get themselves registered. Otherwise,
exactly.
It's like falling on an axe, the sharp edge of the axe. Yeah, I totally get it. Rajiv ji, please help me understand how long have you been in the real estate business?
Well, I'm here in the business for the last, you can say, 31 years.
31 years. Yeah. And you're the first generation or you're the second generation?
Well, I'm the first generation.
Okay.
Yes.
And what does it look like for your second generation? Are they interested in being a part of this community?
Well, second generation is my son is an architect. He's got a separate field. I think next generation will look forward to get into, I guess, building new projects, new buildings and all that.
Okay.
Getting into construction.
So not directly related, but somewhat.
Yeah, sort of, yes.
Okay, so with the times, the way the things are changing, technology is playing such a pivotal role, everywhere, not just real estate. But since we are here, we'll be talking about real estate. So digital is taking over, technology is taking over. Iski wajah se all the things, they're changing at a very rapid pace. How is that affecting our industry, especially when we talk about the brokers? What do they need to do to keep up with the times? I know there are certain factors that will never be taken over by technology. Let's say, like you said, human touch.
Human touch, yes.
Right. But what is your take on this?
See, as far as technology is concerned, it's extremely important that every realtor community embraces the new changes in technology. Very important.
Right.
There were traditional methods, from traditional methods. Everything is getting evolved very fast. You have a very fast changing world with the advent of the cell phones. With cell phones, the whole, you know, with new things coming up on the cell, like WhatsApp and other things, the entire scenario of the real estate changed.
Correct.
The way people operated, everything changed. This is a constant evolving process where everyone should look forward to embrace the new change. You
Correct.
shouldn't, uh, you know, be averse to it. That okay, no, it's enough. If you have to survive, you have to embrace the change.
Right.
Come what may, whether technology or human, artificial intelligence.
Right.
Human touch will always play a very important role,
No doubt.
in our industry.
Right.
Wherever human touch is there, I mean, that's where it helps to form an opinion,
Right.
to take a property.
Understood.
When a person takes a property, he puts his hard-earned money,
Right.
his lifelong earnings.
Correct.
It's very important that he gets the full worth of it.
Understood.
And he should be guided in a right way, in an honest way.
True.
And
Absolutely.
he should get the full worth of it.
Absolutely agree. Ajay, South Mumbai, right? That is where your micro market is.
Yes,
That's your
yeah,
playground.
yeah.
वहाँ पे what kind of audience or what kind of home buyers are we looking at? As in, when I say this, I'm asking you कि कितने ऐसे लोग हैं जो अपने first home buy कर रहे हैं या फिर कितने ऐसे लोग हैं जो कि as an investment, they are buying houses there. How would you, if as a broad perspective or a broad percentage, if you had to put some figures, what is your take on that?
So, as far as South Bombay is concerned, South Bombay always has been a powerhouse in the country.
Absolutely agree.
Not in the state, in the entire country. You have the
Agreed.
best of the illustrious personalities in our South Mumbai, and also in terms of the buyers of the property. Post COVID, it has been a real kind of a mini bull run, for
Okay.
real estate.
Okay.
A mini bull run. Like in new buildings, there were so many inventories which were there. Building with amenities.
Right.
A lot of buildings at low parallel with all prominent developers.
Right.
They were there. I mean, most of the stock got exhausted.
Right.
I mean, people fancied open spaces,
Correct.
open areas. The entire generation, wherever they were staying,
Right.
all of them found their houses to be small.
Right.
Irrespective of the fact that they had stayed in the same house for 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, they found the same house to be small.
Interesting.
So that's where a big change happened in the entire mindset of the people that, look, we need to upgrade. So that's how a kind of a mini bull run happened.
Right.
And a lot of builders were surprised that, okay, a lot of stock is flying off the shelf.
Right.
So that's something which happened post
Interesting.
COVID, and as a result, more and more luxury segment projects have been launched,
Right.
and which are getting good traction.
Interesting. So out of all of these projects, which one is your favorite? If you had to put one finger कि हाँ यार ये this is good. अगर आपको एक second home लेना है मान लीजिए, you would be like कि हाँ यार this luxury property this I should have. Which one would your choice would be?
Well, I wouldn't,
मतलब sky is the limit here. Sky is the limit here. Please don't restrict yourself.
all projects are good in the sense, but
See, no diplomatic answers allowed. This is a candid conversation, which is of course getting captured on the camera. But yeah, please feel free.
well, looking at most of the projects with amenities, the new ones which have come up, I mean, obviously for a good social life, if you look at Lodha Park seems to be a very good, proposition.
Interesting.
And in terms of all other parameters you look at, in terms of, a smart, well-planned building,
Right.
I really like 25 South.
Amazing.
Yeah, in terms of its planning, in terms of its views, in terms of its quality of construction, everything.
Right.
25 South was good.
Amazing. Okay. All right, Rajiv ji, thoda sa we'll change the gears of the show. My favorite questions, 2 questions which I ask all of my clients, and I have a ball of a time getting the answers for them. With 31 years of experience, I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
you must have had some really great experiences with your clients and some worst. So let's start with the worst experience and then we'll go to the good experience and then so that the show is all mellowed down. So, ऐसा एक worst experience you had with a client. Again, I would request you to please don't give any diplomatic answers. You can be as blunt as you want. You don't have to take any names. But ऐसा कोई experience which made you think twice कि यार why did I step foot in this industry? I was better off doing something else only. ऐसा कोई some such experience that you could think of.
Well, I mean, there have been several such experiences. Every realtor has, in his course of working, has good and bad experiences. Everyone has bad experiences. You are vulnerable, basically, the way things are. There have been times when, despite giving the best of the services with, to the client, well, it was one company whom I given my services in the BKC.
Right.
And after completion of everything, and then the non-payment, the harassment, and God knows, all these things happened.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, really bad.
Okay.
There was another incident at South Mumbai where a big transaction had happened, where I must have gone 100 times to that client's office for my dues.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got fed up of going at a point of time,
Right.
I said, he's not the only guy whom I'm supposed to attend. I mean,
Correct.
So, well, because the amount was not small, so a constant chase was there. And that's when I realized that what's happening, something, despite giving the best, man is not reciprocating your, so I got that feel that, okay, maybe it's a bad phase of my life.
Right. I think that's another positive way to look at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than saying ki yaar, this is it, let me jump ship.
No.
But you, on the contrary, you thought ki okay, this is a bad phase of life. See, this is what I meant, right? When I said wisdom with experience. This is exactly what I was talking about. Right. So Rajiv ji, I want to understand कि अब things are changing for the better. Right? ये unorganized industry को organize करने के लिए some regulations are now getting into place. ये जो finance वाला part है, right? The turnaround time is so huge when it comes from getting the payments. If you talk about the primary market, developer से payment आने में इतना time लग जाता है. It takes months sometimes, right? And secondary market maybe, there is a lot of, like you said, harassment or bullying. It does happen, I know. तो इसको regulate करने के लिए what policies can come and from where? How do you think? मतलब there are so many associations here.
Correct.
In Mumbai itself, and I'm sure that all over the country there are various associations for realtors and real estate channel partners and brokers. So what can be done? This is a question that came up with another guest who was here previously.
Right.
और उन्होंने ये बोला कि यार there are so many big associations. He took some names also, but I want to understand from you कि क्या कर सकते हैं जिससे कि at least ये part, क्योंकि ठीक है, there are always going to be some good and bad apples in the industry. But why should the good apples suffer because of the bad apples?
Of course.
Right. So how do we regulate this? What can be done here?
So I think number one, I mean, if you know about insurance sector,
right,
lot of disruptive things which happen, say like cashbacks, which are illegal, which in insurance sector, it's banned. The same thing should, a legislation should come.
Right.
To protect the broker's interest, where cashback should be discouraged.
Right.
Like out of the dues received by the broker, there are times when to facilitate a transaction, they issue a cashback to the client, which is illegal, which is unethical, which should not happen.
Right.
And also similar guidelines, like if you refer to the Dubai RERA Act, it covers so many things which are not there here in our RERA Act.
Okay.
In the Central Act, it just mentions that you can be simply penalized. You don't have any protection.
Right.
The RERA Act is very clear. Central Act was very clear. And so the thing, what should be done, everything has to be done from the center to bring about these changes.
Okay, makes sense.
Today, for a realtor to recover his dues, it's a Herculean task.
Correct.
He has to hire a lawyer. He has to go through that process. Our legal system is very slow.
True.
The results are slow.
Right.
And it's like discouraging kind of a thing.
Right.
So probably I feel in future, if you, me, anyone who's registered with RERA,
Right.
a separate bench should be there in
Correct.
RERA courts,
Agreed.
which will address to these issues and
Right.
bring about results very
Absolutely.
fast.
Absolutely. Actually, a great thought. Well, something needs to be done here.
Yeah,
We have to take that initiative
yes.
very soon. Brilliant, brilliant. Rajiji, now moving to the other side of the question. One of the best experiences that you had with a client, something that made you realize, कि यार, this is it. I am in the right profession. I made the right choice. Now today, आज मेरी life सफल हो गई because you did something so great.
Well, it was not a very big transaction in terms of volume of funds.
Mhm.
It was a very small transaction.
Okay.
The way it happened, the way it got completed, it was one of the most pleasant experiences. It was a
Okay.
very small flat in Worli,
Okay.
and the way the owner, presented himself, the way I convinced the client to take this. With doing that transaction, I really, I don't know, I received a lot of blessings from that person, the
Amazing.
owner. I felt that yes, the person who got the property and the person who gave the property, both was so happy,
Right.
and that increased my happiness 10 times.
Amazing. Okay. Okay. Rajiji, I think almost all of my questions are answered. I can't think of anything more because today's session has been one of the most enlightening ones. काफी सारी चीजें हमने discuss करी.
Right.
And before we leave, before we end this episode, one message that you would like to give to all the people who would probably be watching this show. They could be home buyers or realtors, anybody. In fact, realtors के लिए would be the best. If one message you had for them, apart from what you already said, Kiar, get registered because it's going to be beneficial for you. Apart from that, anything else that you'd like to say to our audiences?
Well, I would say only one thing: to have good, honest, ethical practices. Always give honest, clear presentation to the client. Never misrepresent.
Right.
Always show the pros and cons of each property.
Right.
Leave the rest to the discretion of the buyer or
Right.
the seller, whatever.
So, very interesting point, by the way. I believe almost all the realtors out there, they do talk about the positives, but do they ever talk about the negatives of that place?
No, in my trade, in my thing, I always talk about the negatives and the positives, both.
Amazing.
Always give a clear and honest picture.
Right.
I feel as a buyer, if he's going to put his hard-earned money,
Right.
he should be given a clear and honest picture of the proposition what you give.
Absolutely.
Always, that will really increase the buyer's faith in you.
Right. Right.
That's very important.
That is so amazing. Rajiji, I had such an amazing time having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and, from your busy schedule, coming down here all the way to our office and having this chat with me. It was such a pleasure, such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, Rajivji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really, it was nice coming here and, on your show. It was really wonderful. I really look forward for more.
Amazing, Rajivji.
Thank you.
With that, we come to an end to this episode. Yet another episode. अगले वाले में एक नए ब्रोकरप्रेन्योर के साथ we'll come back with another bang. Stay tuned.